To be happy every day, how should we take care of our love? We need to stop isolating ourselves from each other. This is a Vedic truth. The Vedas explain that when people start living together, family ego begins to grow. What does this family ego do? It traps people within each other. Goodbye relatives, goodbye friends. We only love each other. We don't need anyone else. This focus only on each other drains people's energy. They can't interact with the world because the subtle energy body needs love from everyone. To be truly happy, you have to be connected with all people. Focusing on one person alone isn't enough. Sure, you have a lot of energy of love because God gave you gifts. But if you lock yourselves up with each other, those gifts will run dry, and that's the end of happiness. Then you'll start fighting with each other. A family should live so that from the very start its members help other people. They should invite guests, take care of them, feed the neighbors with pastries, and wish everyone happiness. Put flowers out in the common yard, water them. Doesn't matter if they get stolen, just put new ones. Leave out candies for everyone to take, post holiday greetings. Imagine people walking by and they see a holiday greeting on the shared courtyard. That means there's life there in that space. We take care of birds too. You know the joy of watching birds pecking seeds at a feeder on the street? That's a joy, isn't it? So create that joy for everyone and you'll have more love in your home. Even a thief, when entering a building to steal, won't go into a well-kept entryway because it's risky. They'll get caught fast and someone will call the cops. There are relationships between people there. Which building would the thief choose? The one where no one cares, everyone neglects each other. That means evil creeps in where there is no love. But where there is love, evil can't get in. Why do people drain their energy in family relationships? Because their love energy is tight, closed off, with no connection to others. No depth. As a result, they suffer and lose strength. What's needed are relationships. You need to be deep and build a community around yourself. Like our club, yesterday we were catching candies. These are people who purposely made these gifts for you so you can be happy every day. They live this way. They put these principles into practice. They don't just listen to lectures. They do this to live a truly happy life. Because when you receive those candies, they actually get more happiness than you do. Those who give receive the most joy. See, today they also made 250 candies. They bought everything themselves, prepared all the goodies just for you. You don't even know these people, but they're giving you their love. Feels good, right? Surprising? One woman even brought mandarins, such a fun fruit. You throw them, and if they hit your head, it doesn't hurt. So after the lecture, I throw mandarins for you. Everyone loves it. Everyone's happy. It's an exchange of love. That's happiness already. This kind of life should be everywhere in our country. We need to love each other like this. Weren't we like this before? I remember my childhood. I used to throw snowballs at people on the street. Everyone laughed and threw them back at me. I was a kid who loved establishing connections. Sometimes I'd throw snowballs at someone, sometimes other things, just trying to show that love can be expressed in many ways. See, life isn't just about what happens between us. Life is also nature, isn't it? If we forget that, life is no life at all. In life, time plays its role. It can bring us happiness or separate us and so on. That's life, but what's it really for? For our growth. Humans don't live just for happiness. Animals do. Humans live to grow. Happiness comes as a reward for the challenges they overcome. You see, life in villages is a bit better. People have more contact with nature, and their conscience is stronger. In the city, people are often poisoned by a flawed civilization. Nowadays, civilization doesn't foster morality in people. Look back 20 or 30 years ago, there were fewer divorces. People were afraid to cheat. It was shameful. I couldn't believe it when a girl in 8th grade got pregnant. I was shocked. Now no one's shocked. Kids are openly kissing each other at school. This shows that culture is collapsing not just in our country but worldwide. The root cause of this collapse is that people have lost connection with God. There's no faith. Atheism has spread across the earth. The culture now values only material wealth. People believe the most important thing in life is to have more stuff around them. Surrounding yourself with comfort, that's what happiness means to them. But conscience, love, prayer, forgiveness, honesty, purity, those kinds of happiness people have lost. They don't see the point anymore. As a result, everything gets defiled. The atmosphere turns toxic, and children grow up in bad environments. What I want to tell you today is, believe me, you still have the power to control this. Take movies, for example. They have a huge impact on our consciousness because when a person watches something with faith, they become like that. Faith always changes a person's destiny. It's not just watching a movie. Our lives change. Try to understand this. When someone says something in a movie, if you watch it with faith and love because the actors perform with love, they pass on their knowledge to you. People absorb all of this and then start living that way without even realizing it. Try to understand this. You actually have the power to shape your own life. You can select the movies you watch. Only watch what you want to watch. There are plenty of moral, uplifting movies out there. A friend of mine compiled a whole hard drive full of moral movies, hundreds of them. Historical, philosophical, beautiful, well-acted, not just documentaries. There's a whole bunch of movies that offer real value for life. If you want to watch movies, watch those kinds. Kids can watch them too. There are lots of moral cartoons, but most of us don't know about them. You've got to choose carefully. Sure, there aren't as many as the bad ones, but the good ones teach kids important values. There are many beautiful songs, very deep, philosophical. You have to gather all that. A person needs to approach their life thoughtfully and organize it with real depth. Do you hear how people have fun out on the streets? We have fun too, but it's different. You can have fun in other ways, no need to throw drunken parties. You can gather together to sing uplifting songs, talk about God, and watch beautiful movies. That's a different kind of life altogether, and it leads to very different results. Drunkenness means contact with spirits. When a person drinks, they connect with mischievous spirits. These spirits steal a person's reason and block their ability to overcome fate. These spirits give happiness in exchange for control over your will, and when people feel bad, they can't make themselves feel better anymore. They need the help of these mischievous spirits. As a result, people become dependent on these spirits for both their happiness and their suffering. Until they drink, they can't function properly in life. They develop faith in the bottle and place it everywhere at celebrations. If, say, someone gets married and doesn't drink, people are shocked. They say, "What, you're not drinking? It's a celebration. You have to drink now, you have to have at least a little." So basically, they believe in the spirit, you see.
Maybe it's all about the organization?
You know, the elders are just on the same wavelength as us. Sure, if the elders organized everything properly, then everything would be right. But the question is, should we wait for them to get it right? Wouldn't it be easier to organize things the right way ourselves and then pass that on to everyone else? You see, that's the right way. Revolution is the wrong way. Leo Tolstoy said the same. If you can change something, then change it. Give people knowledge, and those who listen will live rightly. Some people dedicate themselves to nature. They take care of nature. That's good because God is in nature. Some people dedicate themselves to others. They help people. That's good too because God dwells in people and acts through them. Some dedicate themselves to the altar. That's good as well. But if someone dedicates themselves to partying and revelry, that's not good. Human life is not meant for that. There's no meaning in it. Celebration is good. The question is, how is it organized? If the celebration is connected to God, it's a whole different kind of celebration, full of real, deep happiness. But if it's just drunken parties where everyone's wasted, that's not a celebration. We need to try shifting our perception of the world. If we approach life more deeply, happiness will naturally increase. This is something we have to learn. Let's discuss this topic. Let's talk about it. Awakened consciousness, that's holiness. How do people see themselves with awakened consciousness? They feel eternity, they feel connected to God, and they know their life's purpose. They understand they are meant to love God, to live for God. They sense the fates of others. Such people know what will happen to them in the future and what happened in the past. Their life unfolds like a story. They begin to understand their suffering. If they suffer, they don't worry, because they know why they suffer. They remember the past and also know what will happen if they continue living one way or another. With awakened consciousness, a person perceives the world clearly, without doubts, because they have a direct relationship with God. They know exactly what is true and what is falsehood. When such a person thinks about God, they enter a spiritual trance. The Vedas explain that this state, fueled by love, is millions of times stronger than any sexual pleasure. A person experiences immense happiness within themselves in their relationship with God. This is called an awakened state or holiness. A holy person radiates luck. When others see this person, they feel fortunate. Their entire life changes. Luck has three parts. The first is knowledge. One can gain knowledge through contact with an elevated person. The second is love. One begins to understand what true love is, learning to love sincerely. The third component is eternity. A person begins to feel eternal. They no longer fear death. They're connected with holiness. We've seen examples of this. Imagine people living ordinary lives. Then comes the Prophet Muhammad. He starts telling people what is right and what is wrong, how to live. People listen, they become captivated, they feel happiness, eternity, and gain knowledge. He tells them everything about themselves. What is the Quran? It's a story about their life and its outcomes. He predicts who will reform themselves and who won't. He tells what will happen to those who believe and those who don't. People lose their fear of death. They go into battle, fighting against vastly superior armies. These Muslims, poorly armed and ragged, fought against a well-trained, well-equipped Roman army and utterly defeated them. They weren't afraid of death at all. This is a sign of divine influence, the same with the Christians. When Jesus Christ came, people accepted any suffering for their faith calmly, courageously, joyfully, without complaints. See, these people were filled with eternity, so they feared nothing and couldn't be broken. Because they were in contact with the highest truth. When a person connects with the highest truth, they are filled with such strength that nothing can break them in life. They enter a higher understanding of what life really is. And this higher understanding of life is found in our ordinary relationships. If you treat your husband right, you'll understand this higher meaning of life through him. If you treat your children right through them, you'll understand what this higher view of life really is. You just have to realize that this needs to be studied. A person can't figure it all out correctly on their own, because fate often causes us to misunderstand. That's the whole problem. If someone wants to study the Vedas but hasn't found their faith yet, a big Vedic course is available. Those who already have their faith are better off not joining. It's really for those who want to study the Vedas in depth. My lectures are different. I teach in an interfaith way. I also have books you can read to deepen your knowledge. All these topics are covered there. The book, The Law of a Happy Life, won first place a few years ago in an online contest for the best moral book. Over 100,000 people voted for it. I suggest you read it. I think you'll find it interesting. I want to share a story. I had a friend who was like a mentor to me. We were walking together through a sacred place. He was telling me about how beneficial it is to pass away in a holy place. I couldn't understand why one would pass away so early. We were so young. He explained that it was very favorable. Later, we boarded a big old Indian boat. They were ferrying us to the other side. I sat near the tail end and he went to the other side. Then I heard a noise like some wooden boards breaking. Shortly, I saw my friend on the shore, pale as a ghost. He said, "I'll never again talk about how beneficial it is to pass away in a holy place." I asked him why. He said, "Because what you say in a holy place comes true. Everything comes true." He said, "I was standing near the engine. Above me, the boards broke. Somehow I caught on to something and hung right over the propeller. Miraculously, I got out of there." That's the story. God teaches immediately in holy places. If you make a decision or think about something there, you get instant results. Many such adventures happen to a person in a holy place. Any questions for me? Yes, your question.
Dr. Torsunov, about the taste of happiness. Following your recommendation, today I started watching the movie Saint Tukaram.
It's a very serious movie.
I got a taste for chanting the holy name even before finishing the movie. I was struck by an inner question. How is this possible? After all, these are just actors.
These were unusual actors. They were truly devoted believers. The movie is very old, made in the 30s in India. Back then, India was a deeply religious country. The people in the movie were sincere in their faith in God.
I was really impressed by the TV series Ramayana, made in 2008.
That's good. That's a bit different, you know. There are many good faith-based films. I was deeply moved by a 30-episode series called Farooq Omar. It fully describes the origins of Islam. The cast are devout believers. It tells the story completely, how the Prophet Muhammad came to be, what he said, what happened. All of this is covered in 30 episodes. I was truly shaken by it. There are also multi-part series depicting various epics. For example, there's a modern TV show called Sita and Rama. It retells the ancient epic Ramayana, which is already 15,000 years old. It describes the lives of saints, the purity of people and relationships, and so on. You don't have to watch all of it. You can find a lot of interesting things in your own religion. There are many uplifting movies about Orthodox saints, for example. People have different faiths. Everyone watches and studies according to their own beliefs. I watch everything. I don't limit myself. Yes, your question? Good to see you.
I have an interfaith question. Today is the day of the God of joy. This seems very close to the state of pride, happiness, austerity, or glory. Do these states overlap?
Thank you. The state of austerity and pure goodness?
Glory, joy, and different traditions?
Yes, it's all the same. Every tradition has its saints, its glorious people, its ascetics. It's essentially the same everywhere. So from that perspective, there aren't major differences. The only difference is the taste of the relationship with God. For example, in Vedic culture, people enjoy serving God joyfully, and they experience God as a beloved. That's the taste of their relationship with God. In the Christian tradition, God is a person who comes to show how to sacrifice oneself. He demonstrates the highest example of humility, self-giving, self-sacrifice, and selfless love. In the Muslim tradition, the Lord comes as a figure who grants maximum power to the individual. The Lord grants immense power, gives strength, the ability to overcome fate, and grants fearlessness. Even the fear of death disappears for those who believe in Allah. Different relationships. Everyone desires something unique in their relationship with God. There are many religions, each with its own flavor of connection to the divine. These flavors differ, but the essence is the same. When a person forms a true relationship with God, they break free from the confines of this existence. They find themselves. They find their soul. Every spiritual tradition holds a deep, sacred meaning. It's just important not to misuse it. For example, if you become fearless in the face of death, it doesn't mean you should load yourself with explosives and then blow yourself up in front of everyone. What God has given you must be used for the good of others, not to harm them. That's one thing I can say for sure. It's the most important thing to know. God's energy and God's power must be used to help people, not to hurt or hate them. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.